particularly women leadership development and emotional intelligence. I like speaking on the topic and, just sharing my experience and my knowledge in that space. I am passionate about empowering women and advocating for inclusive talent management practices, just fostering environments where employees can thrive. I'm also a mentor. I work with the Mastercard Foundation mentorship program, partnership with Baobab, where we mentor different young Africans as they're getting into the workplace and so on. I'm also passionate about building capacity and really just inspiring the next generation of female leaders to ensure that there is for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joyce. We move on to Blanche Fatima.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
So I am Blanche Fatima, currently the Human Capital Manager for Margin Time, what you know as CAFO Kenya. And for me, I can say I've been in human resources for 13 years. This is my 14th year. And I am passionate about the job. Like, I'm not someone I did land in HR I chose HR and I love it because I love working with people and I'm in the side of building and nurturing. So what I'm passionate about really is talent, identifying talent within the organization and building people within the organization. So of course I do a lot of succession planning and just the overall wellness of employees so that we can just nurture and grow them. I'm someone who likes to see people move to the next level. In the good side of HR, not the one people know as say HR hire and fire. So yeah, I'm a people person and I love change management and just making sure people, we have that culture of inclusivity and family, even though of course that word being used sometimes you say yeah, employees we are a family. Yeah, but mine is real. So that's who Blanche is.
Thank you very much, Blanche. Now can we get from Serafina?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Serafina Wairimo. I work for Madison Group. I lead the HR team. I am so glad to be here and to meet everyone. I've been in HR for over 25 years and I still love working with people and being with people. My passion is mainly on people development and I like very much working with young people so that we could discuss a lot about their career and what they would want to do in the future. And I like it when I am both working with young people at work and in the community where I live. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Serafina, over to you, Josephine Macharia.
Good afternoon. My name is Josephine Macharia. I'm a HR head at Prime Bank. Prime Bank is a mid-tier bank, commercial bank in Kenya with a presence in Mozambique and Malawi. I'm passionate about capacity building, mentorship, and talent management. I have been in the HR space, I think, for the last 20 years now. Beside the office, I'm also privileged to be a mentor to a young adult. I'm a mother and a homemaker. And I'm also interested in public speaking, currently a member of the Lerai Toastmasters Club. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you, Josephine. It's a pleasure too. And last but not least, we have Namu Wangila.
Good afternoon. My name is Namu Angila and I am in talent and learning. I work for Java House Africa, and I'm passionate about people. I'm passionate about developing people to the many things that they would want to be. And I like seeing people thrive, especially in the workplace. I have been in the space of learning development and HR for about 11 years now. And I have seen many women grow. I've also been mentored by very passionate women who have been passionate about mentoring me to be a great leader. So that's who I am.
Thank you very much. So I think we're good to start now, and thank you very much for that quick introduction, ladies. It's been nice already getting to know you as we were waiting to sort out the hitch that we were experiencing. So good afternoon, everyone, including those who have not been online. Thank you so much for making time to interact with us during this webinar titled Women in Leadership and Emerging Technologies. We're happy to have you all here. I am truly honored and excited to welcome you all to today's webinar, and we are here not just to discuss leadership, but to explore, celebrate, and inspire the unique and powerful role that women play in shaping the future. My name is Joyce Kamau, and I'm Manager HR Finance and it's a mouthful. Manager Finance, HR, and Admin here at Regenesys, and I'm happy to be your moderator today. So just a bit of housekeeping. We are going to have a panel discussion where our panelists are going to answer a set of questions that we have prepared for them. And then we will also allow the participants who have joined us online to ask questions either on the chat box or right at the middle of the questions that we create just a few minutes when we're taking questions. And then at the end of the session, we will also have another session to answer any questions that may come from those who are participating in this webinar. We kindly request that you mute your microphone when you're not talking, just to reduce to avoid the background noise and to reduce the distraction that might happen if your microphone is left on. We also want to inform you that we are recording the webinar and we shall share it with you at the end of the session. So feel free to interact and to participate as well as you can. This is a good opportunity to learn and also to get to hear from other people's experiences. There's a lot always to learn from other people's experiences. I don't think we live long enough to make all mistakes by yourself in life. So hear from those who have been through it and learn something from it. So welcome all to Regenesys. We're happy to have you here. Regenesys Business School is an international educational institution which is headquartered in South Africa with a mission to empower individuals through transformative digital education. Our goal is to equip students with skills needed to excel in the rapidly evolving digital landscape. With a presence in South Africa, India, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and the United States. Our legacy spans over 25 plus years. We have served over 300,000 students worldwide, and that's in more than 190 countries, and collaborated with well over 1,000 corporates worldwide. We offer different courses. We have been providing business courses that in the field of business, public management, finance, law, technology, and education. The curriculum is designed to be practical, cohesive, and conscious-driven, preparing learners to meet the demands of the modern world with confidence and expertise. So that is just a brief of who we are and what we're doing. And we encourage you at the end of the session or at any time you have to interact with us. You can go to our website and see what we have to offer as Regenesys. So we'll just jump right straight into the session because I know time has already gone because of the technical difficulty experience. But what exactly do we think about when we talk about women in leadership and emerging technologies? Leadership, as we know, is not defined by title, position, hierarchy. It is defined by impact, by the ability to inspire, to create, and to drive change. When we talk about women in leadership, we are talking about a force that is transformative, innovative, and absolutely essential in the world that we live in today. We are witnessing a powerful shift as more women step into leadership roles, breaking barriers, challenging norms, and leading with empathy, vision, and resilience. The shift is not just beneficial, it is vital. Diverse leadership leads to diverse thinking, and diverse thinking drives innovation. In a world that is constantly evolving, where challenges are more complex and interconnected now more than ever before, it is these diverse perspectives, the collaborative spirit, and the unique approaches of women leaders that will guide us toward greater success. Today's webinar is more than just a discussion. It is a platform for sharing insights, exchanging ideas, and learning from each other's experiences. It is an opportunity to reflect on the progress we've made, acknowledge the challenges that still exist, and chart a path forward that ensures that women's voices are not only heard, but are leading the way. We will explore the intersection of leadership and technology, discuss how emerging trends are reshaping the leadership landscape, and most importantly, we will hear from inspiring women who are leading the charge in their respective fields. As we dive into these conversations, I encourage each of you to think about your own leadership journey. How can we continue to support and uplift one another? How can we ensure that our leadership reflects the diversity and strength of the communities we serve? And how can we use our collective power to drive meaningful change? Thank you for being here, for your commitment to this cause, and for your dedication to advancing women in leadership. Let's make today's webinar not just a learning experience, but a catalyst for change and action. Together, we can create a future where leadership knows no gender, where innovation thrives on diversity, and where every woman has the opportunity to lead and succeed. And with that brief, I think we can now jump right into the questions. And I will start right with a question on our personal journeys and leadership. So I will start with Christine. What challenges have you encountered as a woman in leadership, and how have you overcome them?
My leadership journey has been not without a lot of challenges. And I think the first challenge that I constantly keep going through is just navigating the gender bias and the stereotypes. The tech industry is a very male-dominated industry, and even the industry I was there before, the motor industry, was also very male-dominated. So there's this constant challenging of women capabilities, women's leadership styles, women's competencies. So I keep facing that. In fact, the other day, we have a WhatsApp chat group of former colleagues that we still stay in touch. And we were congratulating the women in the legal fraternity. So we're saying how the Chief Justice is a woman, the Deputy is a woman, the Chairperson of LSK, and so on and so forth. And then there's a comment that came from one of our male counterparts saying that, okay, the big question is, are these women competent? Are they the best for this job, or is it a matter of affirmative action? So we keep facing a lot of scrutiny, everybody questioning whether we are capable or not. So I've really faced that in my personal journey. I've also faced a lot of, what do you call it? People just questioning whether you deserve this job or you got it through other means. Like, I remember when I was in General Motors, I kept rising at a very, very young age. I was a leader, and I kept growing at a very young age, and I was put in positions of power. And there are rumors flying all over that how can this young girl occupy such a powerful position? She must be, having relations with so and so. She must have done this to get here. So it's just that navigating that bias about how we are capable or how we are not capable. And it's really, really been tough for me. The second challenge that I've gotten through is just how you sorry, let me go back to how I overcame that challenge. So the first thing I did is just proving myself in terms of competency. Your results speak for yourself. So every time you perform, everybody says that you're capable. So they see your capability, they see your responsibility, and you just prove yourself, and you prove themselves wrong, and people start respecting you because of what you've been able to deliver. The second thing is just shielding off the noise.
Everybody will talk, everybody will say whatever they want to say, but if you remain focused and you shield off the noise, then you will be able to focus. And the third thing is I was very lucky to have very supportive mentors, very supportive leaders who shielded me off the noise and kept supporting me internally in my journey because they knew my competencies, they knew my capabilities, they knew what I was made of, and they kept shielding me off the noise in the streets. So it's very important even as leaders to have that faith and confidence in your employees so that you're able to support them navigate through these challenges and the noise. The second challenge I faced is that breaking the ceiling, breaking the proverbial glass ceiling. As a woman, it seems so far away when you're trying to reach the top. I have encountered a lot of no's. I've encountered a lot of you're not ready, you're not visible enough, you're not, I don't think you're in the right profile yet, you need more time. So it's just been very difficult trying to prove yourself to be in a certain position. You're being constantly passed over promotions, and it's really tough. And I remember there's a point of time where I had to take a very big risk in terms of taking up a job in a very difficult region, Somalia, Sudan, Tanzania, and those small regional markets that typically don't perform, in order for me to jump and get that managerial title. Otherwise, where I was constantly being told, wait, and then I was being given a lot of team leadership responsibilities without being confirmed as a manager or as a leader. So, and they kept giving excuses one after the other, and when you find yourself 1 year, 2 years, you're still in the same position. People are saying, yes, you can do it, you're capable, but they're not actually confirming for you. So one of the strategies that I use to overcome that is to just, take risks and do something that really aligns with your competency and aligns with your passion. And so I took up this role, and that's what enabled me to cross that leadership gap. And I was confirmed as a people manager at that point. And then from there, it's just been a continuous journey of learning. So those are some of the few challenges that I'm sure all the other women leaders have gone through, and that's really how we've been able to overcome them.
Thank you very much for sharing. Christine, I think I will pose the same question to Serafina. Could you share your experience with the challenges and things you have gone through before you have encountered?
Thank you very much. I think just like my colleague has said, it's not easy as a woman to grow, but you have to focus. You decide this is what I want and start working around it and moving without looking back. The noises can put us back, make us imagine that probably I should not make that step. I go 2 steps behind, but we have to keep going, and we have to let the noises just be. Personally, I've grown in the middle of men. Contrary to what people would actually imagine, it is the men. And how was I able to do that? Because I was able to convince them that this is what I want, this is who I am, and of course, your integrity and the way you carry yourself has to be beyond reproach, and making sure that what you're doing is always the right thing. If you do not know anything, do not waste any moment, just go to class and learn, so that the next moment you are at par with everybody and everyone. The other thing I know was a challenge probably is when all the ladies, I know most of us who are mothers, when you have to take care of children, you kind of slow down. Like you'll slow down if you're expecting a baby. You'll slow down probably during your first one year to look after the baby. But that never stopped me. I kept moving, and every chance that you get to work, whether at home or in the office, you go for it. I would tell everyone who is looking forward, a lady, to grow in whatever profession, don't give up. Make sure that your integrity it can be tested at any time, and your integrity is at a very high level. Ensure that you understand the subject. Make sure that you've gone to class and learned everything that you're supposed to learn to help you move forward. so that we don't slow down. When we slow down, that's when we are seen to be a bit weak. I think women are the strongest human beings that we have in the world. And we should be very proud of ourselves and never looking back. Even if it means leaving your baby for an hour or two, leave your baby, go do something else, come look after your baby. Just plan your time and you'll find that you're moving as well as everyone else. I don't think we should be challenged by the fact that we are ladies. We should just move on and ensuring again and again your integrity and your conduct, your character cannot be, no one can look forward and say, or look back and say, this person has a questionable character, she has a questionable integrity. We have to move and do things the right way. That's how we are going to move forward. I think that's what I can say. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sir, for that. The next question I will give to Dorcas. Dorcas, can you share your personal journey into leadership, especially in the context of emerging technologies?
So thank you very much, Joyce, for that question. One of the few things, and I'll have to echo what Christine and also Serafina has said, is there is the misconception that just comes by the fact that we are women. So one of the few things that comes off usually is just the unconscious bias. And I'll pick one of the projects that I got involved in early in my career. One of the idea of dealing with technical teams and somebody assuming first you don't know and you have to prove yourself. So as women, you'll always find yourself in a situation, one, that whether you have the certification or not, whether you have the experience or not, somebody will actually pose and challenge you and expect you to come out strong in it. So in this particular incident, I remember it was one of our clients and we were dealing with a particular very technical bit. So I was put at the spot, and it's not those, a webinar, you're given the questions, you prep, you have your thing, you're ready, you're put on the spot, not knowing what you're expected to do. And I remember I was leading a team of engineers, and they were told, you need to solve this issue of a machine that was broken. And they challenged them, and the person walked them through. And me being the supervisor at this stage, I was like, wait, why would you be very specific on certain needs? But what I realized was it was an actual problem that was stating. And what followed was the person actually fixing the issue with the machine. So in that state, me even as a supervisor, the one question I had in my mind was, do I have my team ready to be ready in the sense of they have to prove themselves and not try and fight? Because this is where we get it wrong as women, where somebody will come and question and doubt your capability in terms of technology, in terms of delivering the work as much as you've done it before. But the one question that you have to answer is, this is how it's done, not I know I can do it. So one of the biggest challenges I've had to go through is affirming to myself that it is not a matter of fighting. It's a matter of actually doing the work. And I'll echo what Serafina has said. Go back to class when things are not working through. I remember when I started dealing with technical recruitment, I had to reach out to a technical expert. Why? Because it was a new chartered area that I was very unfamiliar with. But one of the interesting things I also learned is that even that particular person had their own challenge. So we were learning from each other. But the biggest bit was I had to take the leap of accepting that there are certain areas that I'm good at and I'll be challenged and I'll have to prove them over and over. Even up to now, Joyce, it doesn't matter how many years of experience I have, I get challenged. Nobody challenges me as a mother or maybe as a wife, but they'll challenge you on spaces they don't expect you to be in. And sometimes it's not only focusing on the gender, but sometimes it focuses on the type of industry you're in. So if you're in hospitality as a woman, you will blend in very well. You will do your work. No, it's very hard for somebody to come and just challenge the status quo. But you go to civil, you go to engineering, and somebody will be like, oh, was this the only option, or you decided to take up a challenge, not realizing that it can be a passion, and the driving force there is rebuilding and fixing things. So for me, the biggest challenge there is being ready to prove yourself and not arguing it out. The minute you start arguing it out, you all the information you have just gets watered down. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us. The next question, I think I'll give Josephine, Namo, and Joyce to answer this one. I think they'll go in that order. And the question is, how do you balance leadership demands with other aspects of your life? So we'll start with Josephine, and then Namo, and then Joyce.
So thank you, Joyce. And I think I'll just pick it up from where my colleagues have left off, because the bias is real. And sometimes it's not only even in the very difficult vocations, but sometimes even as a woman in the boardroom. Sometimes you find you're the only one, or you're only two, and the rest are men. And it can become very intimidating. And of course, they will also question you, and they will want to know whether you're up to the job, and sometimes even try to show you that you're not up for the job. So I think the first thing that I would say is important when we are dealing with our jobs is to prioritize our mental wellness and self-care. I have seen this to be very practical, especially in my own life, having started a leadership role right after university. And how we prioritize self-care is by mastering your own emotions and having emotional intelligence. And I know, like my colleague had just lastly said, that sometimes when you argue out things, when you try to, probably your responses are very important in such cases. So when you master your emotions, then you're able to actually respond and show them that I can actually do it by actually delivering what needs to be done. So for us to be able to be in this space and thrive in this space, it's good to ask yourself, how do I respond? Where am I in terms of, how do I feel mentally? What do I do to make sure that I'm well prepared for this presentation, if it's a presentation, or even your workspace? Just learning the politics around the work, around the projects that we are doing, and being aware that it is going to be mentally draining and taking care of that. So self-care is one area that I'd say we need to do that. The other thing is just acknowledging the support system. By this, I mean the support system around our homes, because we are mothers. And as one of us said, we are strong leaders. And that's why we are actually given the responsibility of starting families, of being homemakers. And going further, we can even be the best leaders. We can change our environment, we can impact, we can influence, we can motivate. So there is no place and there is no space that we cannot thrive. And we can do this, all of it together, because one, when we acknowledge the support system, at home, who are our support system? We have our house managers. How do we prioritize them? How do we motivate them? We have our mothers, sometimes our family members who are so gracious, to allow, to give us support when we are working. It's very good to actually acknowledge them. The other thing is time management. We realize for us to thrive, we have to understand what we are doing with our time, so that we give our time to the most precious things to us. Whatever we have prioritized, we give it the most time. And then we also weed out time-wasting ventures in our days and in our life, so that we are able to optimize the time that we have out there. So I'll leave the rest, at least for my colleagues to also go at it. So I'll stop there for now, if you'd allow, Joyce.
Thank you very much, Josephine. I'll move on to Joyce.
Thank you, Josephine. You've echoed a lot that I wanted to say, but I would just say that balancing the demands of leadership with personal responsibilities as a woman, especially a woman who is a daughter, a friend, a wife, a mother, is sometimes very challenging. But for me, I've come up with a few strategies that I have used and I've seen them work for me. And one of the strategies that I've come up with is setting boundaries. And when it comes to setting boundaries, both in my work life and my home life, is that I have committed that I will not be checking my emails or taking phone calls during my family time. And once I leave the office, most of the times I would jokingly tell my colleagues that my KPIs for now are done for the day, and I'm going to be starting my new KPIs. And my new KPIs are either being a mother, being a wife, being a friend to other people outside the workplace. So that has really assisted me. And I have committed this because I know how important it is to separate the two. And another technique or strategy that I've seen that has worked for me over the years, and it's something that I've had to learn, and that is saying no. You know, as women, most of the time, or we would fall into the trap or pressure of taking more responsibilities. And taking more responsibilities does not only mean that we are talking about the workplace. It can even be in the home setup. It can be in the friend setup. So to avoid burnout, I have learned over the years to say no, because I have realized that when I'm able to separate and understand the time that I needed to say no, it is also good, very good for my well-being. As Josephine had mentioned, that well-being is very important. And when empowering yourself to say no, it's important to maintaining your balance. And another strategy also as a woman that I have learned, and it's a painful strategy and it's a difficult one, is smart delegation. Because sometimes we do not understand that we need people to help. We don't know how to seek for help because people will think we did not deserve to be in that position or deserve to be a leader. So learning that I needed to actually delegate smartly, not only in the family cycle, or even delegating to my friends or my family to assist so that I also don't get that burnout. It has given me balance in most of the aspects of my life, and I'm able to also prioritize my tasks. And lastly, I would say self-care. So Josephine echoed a lot of self-care and also seeking support. This has really, really assisted me in maintaining energy for both my personal and work life. Yes.
Thank you very much, Namu. We have Joyce now.
All right, thank you. I think my colleagues have pointed out very important aspects of how to maintain a balance between personal life and work life and leadership. I believe that the higher you go up in your career, the more responsibility you have in your career, the more intentional you have to be in terms of taking care of yourself and taking care of your personal life. One of the things, and I think I will just echo some of the things that have been spoken about, that have helped me a lot in terms of managing my time and managing my priorities and expectations would be to be as intentional in taking care of personal things as I am taking care of professional things. When it comes to work, we have calendars that help us manage meetings. We have a team with us that helps us schedule our, take care of our schedule, ensuring that we are not overbooked, or we don't double book meetings, we don't double book sessions. You set reminders for yourself. The same care that I put in my professional life is the same in terms of scheduling and in terms of ensuring that I am prioritizing needs for my professional life is the same that I put in my personal life. What that does is that you're able I am able to be present. I am able to take care of those things and make sure that I am not missing out on important things, and that to give I train my mind and my system to know that this is also important. That not only is work important, but these other aspects of my life are important and deserve similar, if not more, emphasis than these other things. The other thing I have started doing recently and I'm learning to do is just being more mindful and present. What that does, sometimes you can find yourself with so many demands on yourself. You find that your team is dependent on you, the business is dependent on you, you're required to make decisions that are impactful to the business, you're required to give advice and guidance, but also at home and in your personal life, you're a friend, you're a mother, you are a sister, you are a wife, you are all these things. But if we are not careful, sometimes we find ourselves being pulled into very different directions and because of the demands that we have in our life. So I have practiced, I'm practicing being present in the moment and being mindful, taking the time not to miss what is in front of me. That if I am at work and if I am doing a task, I am focusing on that task and I'm being present and I'm being mindful. If I am at home and it's playtime or we're doing homework with the children or we're just hanging out as a family, just being present in that moment helps in creating sort of that balance where I'm not being pulled into so many different directions and I'm being present. The other thing I would say that ties in very well with that and what Josephine and Namo have said is support. Support is everything. They say that children are raised by a village. But I tell you, for you to be a successful woman, you have to have a good working support system around you. You have to have a support system at work. Are you hiring the right people and are you ensuring that the team you have around you is empowered enough to be able to be the right support for you? At home, do you have the right kind of support in terms of, your nanny or the help at home? Are you killing yourself to be superwoman and you are the driver for the children, you are the nurse, you are the chef, you are everything, but also at work you are also the CEO, you are also the HR, you are also the coach, you are the mentor, you are everything. So ensuring that you have a good support system around you helps one to be able to thrive and be able to even have the right kind of impact. You are able to have meaningful work and participate in meaningful work for yourself that gives you satisfaction because you have the right kind of support around you. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you very much for that, Joyce. The next question will go to Margaret. What do you see as the most significant opportunities for women in emerging technologies today?
Thank you, Joyce. How I look at it and while I'm answering this question is that the opportunity is there for anyone, including us. So there is opportunity, whether it's in the upcoming technologies, AI, blockchain, machine learning. But critical is, first, are you inspired or do you like to be in that environment? Then, of course, secondly, is you have to upskill yourself and get to be ready to be that or to be in that space. So for me, the opportunities are there, and we just, first of all, as a woman or as a leader, all of us need to understand what technologies are there, what new emerging technologies are playing at this point in time. I'll give you an example. I think in the organization right now, we are all doing AI as a course. It's quite interesting, quite difficult for some of us in HR, but what does that do for you? You understand the emerging technology and what is happening around it in this time and as you progress. So the other bit I think that I would say from an opportunity perspective is regardless of which area you are, because it's not about just you being in HR, or rather you being in technology, you could be in another function. You could be in HR, you could be in finance, But again, there is always technology or emerging technology that is being used in your area. So are you aware? Are you upskilled to that level so that you use what is required to make your work easier, of course, and to catch up with the times? So I think in a nutshell, the opportunities are there. You need to be curious, you need to learn, you need to upskill yourself, you need to believe and be reliable that you can actually learn it. And then when you do it in the best way possible. Let excellence be at the forefront of everything you do. So that's what I would say.
Thank you very much, Margaret. The next question will go to Serafina. How can organizations better support and promote women in tech roles?
Thank you very much for that question. I think organizations can support women in technology by doing several things. One is in their training plans. How do they? Who is being trained and what are they being trained in? I know there are some trainings that probably we may want to take a certain direction, but all the trainings that are given in this organization should be trainings that will help everyone and trainings that can assist the ladies. Like somebody has said, technology keeps changing. And I believe what was happening in January this year in whatever area of technology is different from what is happening currently. And we should be aware and be able to make sure that everyone in our organization is undertaking various trainings as days go by. That way we will ensure that everyone is brought up to date with the trainings that are presented. The other one is, even before the organizations come in and assist us, what are we doing for ourselves? When we sit at home or we sit at our desks, what are we doing for ourselves? There's a lot of learning that we can do even online or in our own small space. Let us get in there and see what is available for us to learn so that tomorrow I am not the one being told, you cannot move to ABCD because you do not have this certification. There are so many certifications out there. I may not necessarily wait for my employer or my father or mother to pay for a course for me. I can go in there and look for what is available. Some of these courses are actually free and anybody has access to them. So I think it's upon us, it's upon the employers to ensure that all the trainings that we give, we are free and fair to give to everyone. And us as ladies, what is there available for us that we can tap without even spending money on it? That's what I think should be the best strategy. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Serafina. Now, the next question is about shaping the future, and I will direct this to Dorcas. Which emerging technologies do you believe will have the greatest impact on the future of leadership?
Thank you very much, Joyce. Let me just pick it up from what had previously been asked so that we just can get into the future of technology. One of the things that you'll discover in the space of tech is there's curiosity. There is a need to solve a problem and therefore there's a driving point to it. And what I've also seen work best is when we create programs that nurture the younger generation. In order for you to shape the future and in order for you to have the actual skills that you require, you need to be addressing the challenge as if it's going to, assist the child who is right now in kindergarten. If you come and give me a solution offering to just solve, I would say, the simple basic challenges we have at work, like budgetary or even doing reports, it'll look good, it'll look amazing, but it'll die. So first, let's figure out how do we create the curiosity within our teams, because one of the biggest challenge you'll notice is there is like a 3-level type of staff. There's a staff who will always come in, rise and move from one level to another based on the challenge they see that they're achieving in terms of solving a solution. And therefore the up learning would come through. And just as our previous speakers mentioned, you'll get a variation of different skills that you put in. Right now, AI learning, machine learning is really critical and all. But also remember there is I would say the hand-holding skills that you will need to have in order for you to perfect either your understanding of the algorithm or something else. So as simple as basic as just being good in communicating and writing will enable you to understand how you can work on in this machinery. But also the curiosity would enable you to know what is that I can come to solve in the workplace, either save on budgets or come up with something else that is more workable that would come into play. So I have seen things that work best in regards to either creating programs that are either as way low up to kindergarten level and building up to it. And this I'm talking out of, I would say, first experience. My kids got introduced to AI way early in terms of robotics, all these technologies. It reaches a point they challenge us every day because of the curious mindsets that we have. My son right now is into just getting into hackathons and all. But what triggered it? The trigger came from curiosity. We might try and shape the future by telling everyone, you need to sign up to understand how to use ChatGPT and everything. There are enough programs that are there that would work out. But then once I learn, what do I do with these skills? So the applicability has to come hand in hand. And also looking at things that will not automatically get extinct. As I said, communication is not about to run away. Writing won't run away. Anything that we're going to put into this machinery will require us to have a different way of thinking. And therefore that trigger has to be put in. Finally, what I would say is, depending on what or where someone is in terms of industry, understand first the business case in terms of the objectives of the organization. What's the strategy for the next 5 or 6 years, or even 10? And how have they played out? What skills will be required to solve those goals that they have put out there? Those are the skills that will lead you to know these are the technology skills that I need to have to be more prepared. We have seen a huge gap when it comes to skill transition. And this, I think Margaret has seen it in her side. When we see Microsoft is hiring in UK, they come and do an whole overhaul in one section of Kenya, and another company comes and takes another overhaul of skill set. But the thing is this, there has to have been a strategy of a growth strategy somewhere out there in X country. We didn't take it seriously, we assumed it, and therefore what happened? People just get swept off and skill sets are moving on. So it's a matter of understanding what are the needs in place and then coming out and playing out. A simple challenge we have right now with Shift, trying to figure out how this platform will work. We all knew this was happening. That bit of the challenge is there, who is willing to pick it up. And then, we'll be able to solve the issues, but you'll be able to know which skill set you need to hire. If anything I've said, Joyce, I've not narrowed down to a particular skill set, I've narrowed down to curiosity. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Dorcas. The next question I'll direct to Margaret. How do you envision the role of women evolving in leadership positions within the tech industry over the next decade?
One, women will actually be required because we bring in a very different perspective in leadership, and we really need to take advantage of that. We are actually quite different from men and women, but we do not take advantage of the fact that you are a woman and your perspective, the way you are created as a woman is actually different. That will actually come in, and it will be required in very many ways. One, whether it's ethical leadership, while we are creating the new technologies, how are we ensuring that what we are creating is ideal for our society, that it has the right impact? Our thoughts, the way we think as women allows us to go through such with ease. I'm not saying men don't do it, but with ease. So we need to accelerate it and bring out that so that we ensure there's ethical leadership and ethical technology that is being provided. Second, I think the other thing that will be evolving or will be required of us is to bring inclusive innovation, addressing, the different demographics, whether it's from, the differences we have in the community or in the economy. That will be critical. We will be required to bring in diversity, rather to drive policy and regulation. I think that is somewhere we can play critically. Other one is, of course, mentoring, coaching, sponsoring, and supporting other women. Bringing collaboration, and not only in your industry, but also across other industries, on how different technologies, emerging technologies can be utilized across. So we have a role. The role plays across regardless of where you're sitting, and you just need to take your space and do your bit as women in technology, and own of course excel in what we do. Yeah.
Yes, just to push that forward, Margaret, you have mentioned the issue of diversity. What practical strategies can help close the gender gap in leadership within the tech industry?
Yeah. I'll give you an example from even a perspective of just our own organization. Gender diversity, have clear metrics that you're measuring as an organization. And the metrics can be very clear depending on the function, depending on, male, female, or whether it's promotion, etc. The clarity from a goal perspective, what metrics are you looking at as an organization? What is measured is better than what is just assumed. The other way of looking at gender and diversity is, of course, having bias-free recruitment. What policies are you looking at, and are you bringing in within the organization about recruitment, so that your gender and the diversity from the onset of recruitment is clear. So bias-free recruitment from a perspective of whether it's gender neutral JDs, and you can actually think that that's so simple, but we did that just looking at running your JDs through, and the apps are there to see, is your JD really feminine or very masculine? So gender neutral JDs. How are your panels looking like when you're doing an interview? You could find it's an interview that is just full of men, or you're actually looking to hire someone with to bring in the disability targets, and there's no one who is helping me to understand what kind of things we need to be looking at from a diversity or from a disability perspective. So the diversity from a perspective of panels will be critical for you to achieve your gender biases. Your processes, of course, will be critical. Processes from whether it's equal pay and promotion. Are you creating? Are you also analyzing and reviewing that, and you have targets around that? I'm quite excited to say it's something that we critically look at from male and female actually, and how are we playing male versus female? Because sometimes as women you come and really play yourself from a negotiation perspective. How do we ensure that as an organization it is something we bring to the forefront and look at the balances and the parity that we have from a male and female perspective? I think that's from a gender perspective, critical is put it at the forefront, have very clear metrics that you're looking at, and also bring it to the forefront that you're measuring it and you're being held accountable for it. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Margaret. The next question I will ask Joyce. How can we encourage more women to pursue careers in STEM, and what role does leadership play in this?
All right, thank you for that question, Joyce. Number one, I would say to encourage, Dorcas talked about curiosity and how it plays in terms of being prepared for the future. I think it is the same when it comes to encouraging women and preparing them for leadership roles within these spaces. Encourage curiosity. Be curious about what's happening. A curious mindset will mean that you're prepared for whatever situation, that you're consistently learning, that you have an approach towards an approach of lifelong learning, that you're not just learning, as Dorcas put it, but just focusing on what is hot and new, but you're upskilling on skills that can be transferable, on skills that can transcend industries and situations where you're able to put yourself at an edge. So whether you are, whether you're pursuing online courses, certifications, in the different aspects, ensuring that you're well prepared to excel in that space. Next, I would say that it is important for women to seek out mentors who align with what they are seeking to achieve. Seek out people who have gone before you, and these people don't have to just be men. Or just be women, sorry. Serafina talked about how she has been able to grow in a space, where there are men. And probably it's the men that have poured into her, that into her career, that have helped her, to grow as a career woman in her space. So by being able to show your value and what you bring, what you're bringing to the situation or to the table, you're able to seek out mentors within your space that can build you and help you scale up in the areas that you want to scale up. Do not be biased and say that, I can only be mentored by a woman, or I can only be mentored by someone who I have worked with. Seek out, be curious and seek out those people who are in the space that you want to be, who have walked the path ahead of you, so that you can learn great insight. The other thing I would say is, for us as leaders, as women leaders, I would say it is to advocate for those who are coming behind us, or who are in the same space as we are in. Being able to advocate for inclusion of women in our spaces and in these tech spaces allows for us to make room for other people or other women in this space. To whom much is given, much is expected. You have the opportunity as a woman leader in your space to create and advocate for more women to find room and to find space for them to excel and express themselves and thrive in that space. That's it, Joyce. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Joyce. Now, the next questions are on inclusive leadership. And the first one I'll ask to both Christine and Josephine. Christine, you go first. How can women leaders foster a culture of inclusion and diversity within the organizations, particularly in tech-driven environments? Christine, Christine,
Can you hear me now?
yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. The obvious one is, number one is to lead by example, and we'll share just a couple of my own personal experiences. I've always been in teams where I'm either the only female within the team, or the only female manager within the team, and I made it a mission to build an all women or all female team. And where I am right now, we are running the biggest in our organization, and it's all female. It wasn't easy, but I was very deliberate about hiring women and giving them a chance, because a lot of women are shy, or they are always afraid to pursue these kinds of careers and roles, particularly tech roles and sales roles. So I made it a mission to just be deliberate to hire women. Now I think I'm in a bit of a trouble because everyone is saying that here we are all women and where is the boy child? So I'd rather have that problem, it's a good problem, rather than having the opposite, where you're really struggling to find female talent. And I'm very proud of the achievements that we've been able to make as an all-female team. And you know, this has also inspired the organization. It has inspired my peers, even the male colleagues who are in positions of leadership. They're also very challenged, and they're deliberately creating these strategies the same way that I did for my team. Also working with a diverse set of women. It's not just every woman, or you know, the typical CV, we have the superstars, people who have done this and that, people who have won this and that awards, but just giving a chance to everybody, not hiring the typical or the traditional CV, but looking at potential as well and looking at what that female will add into your team. For example, my team has a couple of interns who joined the organization as interns, and after 1 or 2 years, you know, I was able to, they were able to learn and compete in positions with other people that are coming from very experienced positions and from competition. And you just have to give them a chance, because how will they know, how will they get into these positions? Because they'll always be interns and they'll always be perceived as such. But you find that giving them a chance has also led to them outperforming even the typical superstars that we get from other organizations. So just having that balance and giving everybody a fair chance, whether you're a superstar or not, whether you're an intern or not, just having that inclusive and diverse pool of talent and giving people a chance, because I was given a chance. I mean, I started my career as an intern and I was given a chance as an outlier. There was so many other people with very serious qualifications more than myself, but you know, my superiors saw something in me and they gave me a chance, and it's something that I'm paying forward by giving them a chance to be able to perform just like everybody else. The second thing that I would deliberately do is I've been championing mentorship opportunities and sponsorship opportunities. I'm currently the sponsor of a program called Inspire Women in Leadership, and this is between ourselves, Oracle and Safaricom, where we are seeking to inspire and mentor the next generation of emerging female leaders, advocating for their growth within their respective organizations, not only in tech, but you know, in all the diverse roles that are out there. So just being in a position where you will champion these initiatives, you champion these programs, you pick the females that maybe might ordinarily not pick themselves, but you speak to them about their potential and put them in these positions where they're exposed to leaders who will coach them, who will mentor them, who will encourage them, and who will make them ready for their upcoming leadership opportunities in the organizations. Because our male counterparts are always doing this, and most of the time, even if they're not ready, they portray a certain sort of aura and confidence, such that automatically they're qualified. They don't even hesitate to put up their hands, even if they don't know, they will find out later, or they will learn on the job. But women, we always put ourselves in a position where we have to be perfect, we have to be ready, we have to tick all the boxes. So even if we don't tick 1 or 2 boxes, we don't apply, or we say we are not qualified. So just being intentional about this program is putting up that platform and encouraging these women to develop their talent, to develop their leadership capabilities, so that when that time comes, when the leadership clarion call comes, they are ready and they'll be selected and they'll put their hand confidently because they've gone through the program. Lastly, I think Margaret spoke about it in terms of just cultivating an inclusive hiring and appraisal process. One of my key KPIs with my team is diversity and inclusion. What project have you involved yourself in terms of diversity and inclusion? How have you embraced diversity and inclusion? Give me an example, and you know, we measure against it. And then also in the interview panel, you know, you can't just hire somebody that you like or somebody who's like you. you have to have a diverse group of people representing race, representing gender, representing age. You'll have the Gen Zs, you'll have the Gen X, representing even people with different cultures, so that you're speaking into cultural intelligence, so that the person that ends up being selected then is not just somebody of your liking, because you have to have somebody different who has been vetted by people of a diverse group, and they will bring a very rich addition into the team. And I'll give an example. When I joined HP a couple of years back, it was a very competitive position for me, and there was a very diverse panel of people that were doing the interviews. And I remember we reached the last question, and they looked at my CV, and one of my things that I said that I like doing is singing. And one of them told me, okay, I can see that you sing here. Please stand in the middle of the office and sing out your favorite song. And I stood in the middle of the office. You can imagine people like Zoom calls, people like meetings, and I just belted out my favorite song, and everybody looked at me. And by the time I was done, I was given a standing ovation. And by the time I went into the panel room, everybody was struggling. Okay, you're going to join my department. Oh no, I want her. That's diversity, where it's not just about your what is on your CV in terms of your capabilities, but also your talents and the kind of different energy that you're bringing in should really, really be encouraged. Take time to find out people's hobbies, what makes them tick, what kind of unique capabilities they bring on the table, and take time to find that out and bring it as part of your team, which is something that has really worked very well for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Christine. Justin, can you hear from you?
Yes, I think Christine has taken most of the points, but maybe what I would like to add is that during this session, we have actually brought bias as being uniformly experienced by women leaders. And because we are part of the transformative leadership that we are looking for, I think one of the other ways would be to combat unconscious bias, because sometimes these people, they will just be biased because that's the way the society is. So that's the way, when we are doing gender orientation as we grow up, there are those biases that we grow up with. So as women leaders, we can be intentional about working to reduce these unconscious biases by opening up, spaces that are free, that people can talk about what bias probably they are feeling, just making the workspace a place that is very safe for people to speak. Another issue, I know Christine has talked about mentorship, and I'm looking at us as people who are even beyond the workspaces. We have people that we are mentoring, we have young people that we are mentoring. Going back to that question on how can we encourage many of these young people to take up STEM, the STEM subjects. I think we can also be intentional and deliberate to empower these young women leaders of the future to know that they can be what it is that they want to be. Because I find that when it comes to the classrooms, we have a majority of women in the classrooms. And that goes across, whether it's a STEM class, whether it's, you find women are many. But when we come to the hierarchies of leadership, we find that women are, they dwindle, the numbers dwindle as we go up. And so we have to ask ourselves what happens between the transitioning from class and transitioning to leadership and to achieving full potential. And I think that's where we come in, so that as mentors, we are motivating and we are encouraging. Well, I think it's also good that we teach, as we mentor, we teach them to embrace failure, because the society also kind of defines failure for a woman in very many different ways. And sometimes when you look at it, it is probably not failure. Sometimes maybe some things come earlier than we anticipated, but really that is not failure. But because of that societal orientation, it can be very discouraging and pull somebody back. So as women leaders, we must be able to mentor these young ones, embrace whatever it is that the society calls failure, we will call it a stepping stone, so that they know these are just some of those stepping stones that you have to go through on your way to the top, and nothing has to stop you. Sometimes it could be that they tried once, or they went to a workplace once and the environment was just too hostile, because sometimes that happens and they feel they cannot try again. So they should embrace that and know, what do I do in a similar situation, and take that as a learning point. So I think those are my views as concerns that part.
Thank you very much, Jocelyn. It's interesting that you brought up the topic of mentorship and allies, and the role that they play in encouraging the young, especially to pick up the STEM position. So I'm actually going to direct one similar question, and I'll direct it to Blanche. I know Jocelyn has said a bit about mentors and mentorship, but Blanche, I'd like to know from you what role you believe mentors and allies play in supporting women's leadership in technology, and how we can strengthen these networks.
Okay, thank you for that question. So what role that we play, I can say, is first of all, by using the position that you currently have to support these initiatives. For example, you have in your internal policies, you have like specific KPIs towards having a good percentage of women representation in leadership positions. And you task people, like you keep like it's a KPI that we will do a performance review at the end of the year. And then another one is to always have a culture of inclusion. Like you have programs where you include women in the programs that you do. For example, we have a women council, and the specific roles of the women in that council is to come up with programs throughout the year, which are specific to the growth of women in our organization. And we follow through, and we have meetings every month, and we are accountable to make sure that these programs take place for the women that we work with. Another one is we also have like fun activities also aside from now work, which of course still involve the employees, the women in the organization, where we do catch-ups also as women, and we talk about our challenges that we go through as women, and we loosen up. Sometimes we can just be talking about professionalism and how the policies are, but sometimes we normally also have like the catch-up sessions where we just let loose and just like bond and connect, because as we say, we are looking for mentors, and women, it is our responsibilities to mentor other women, but also it's good to bond and break the ice so that we can also be like good, we can build each other. Another one that we do is we encourage women in our organization to speak up. For example, if you see a position that you feel like this is meant for me, you speak up and say, and if you feel like I really want this position, but I know I need 1, 2, 3 to build for me to get to that where I'll pass this interview, you be specific and you say the areas that you need to grow, so that we can also like find a program specific to you to grow you in the things that you bring. So I think, and always present yourself as a professional to at least counter the biases. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Blanche. And at this point, I'd like to break it up just a little. I wonder if there are any questions from our online participants this far. Do you have any questions for the panelists up to this point? Please raise your hand if you do, and we'll be happy to take it from there. Any questions?
I think there is one on imposter syndrome on the chat.
On the chat. Okay, who would like to take that one?
I can go. I think the thing is, the one thing that you probably realize is that it will keep creeping in. Not saying it will never go. I think we, unlike men who say, almost decide that I will learn when I'm in the job, as women, sometimes we want to be so perfect. Like for me, at some point, I used to get to, when I'm applying for a job, I look at the JD and I have to cross-check whether these are things I have experienced in. And yet, you actually don't need 100%. You just don't need to be 100%, and no one is ever 100%. So why are you questioning yourself in the first place? So from an imposter syndrome, the critical thing is for you first to be aware that it will creep in. But what happens when it creeps in? One, know yourself, know your weaknesses, know your strengths, know your triggers, what triggers you as a lady, and understand yourself in that way so that you're able to be your, to clap for yourself as and when. Secondly, I think have values that you can stand for. I do believe, and if you ask me, I think some of the things that I usually have consistently held is that I will be reliable. I'll do my job to the best way possible, meaning excellence and excellence. I'll inspire. You need to be innovative. You need to be adaptable and flexible. It's never a straight line. So the flexibility and adaptability comes in. And of course, with just going back to the discussion of you will never be 100%, then what happens? Improve yourself, upskill yourself, learn. I think the other thing is seek role models, seek mentors, seek allies that will support you through the journey, seek sponsors that will actually vouch for you. So you're not an island, you need help, you need support, and you just need to realize that there is that support around you. Emotional intelligence is critical for you as a woman. Know when to speak, when to shut up. There are times you just don't need to speak, you just need to listen, and you don't need to comment on everything. So that whole package, there is never an answer that you will ever cure imposter syndrome. Know that it's there, understand yourself, and get ready. And be in that space where you can also support yourself and you have enough people supporting you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to add something.
Yes, please,
Yes. Celebrating your own achievements and also celebrating each other's achievements is very important. It goes a long way to boost confidence and to just encourage your peer or your colleagues that they're in the right direction. I mean, I've faced a lot of, you question yourself, you second guess yourself, you ask yourself whether I'm in the right room, am I doing this right, have I gotten it right? Especially where you have leaders that don't affirm you, or leaders that when you do the right thing, they keep quiet. And then when you do something wrong, it is blown out completely out of proportion. Yeah. So you have to be self-aware in that you look for areas where or mentors or friends can validate you. And one of the practical things that I've seen work for me and for my colleagues as well is celebrating each other's achievement. No matter how small it is not small. That can really go a long way in terms of boosting your confidence. Even the way you show up at work, how you're dressed or how you tackled a project or how you answered a question, just, a pat on the back, oh, well done, you did so well. It just goes a long way to boost your confidence and to know that you're doing the right thing so that you don't second guess yourself. And then don't be shy about outlining your achievements. It is your achievements. You're the owner of those achievements. And of course, you collaborated with other people. So celebrate it. Because our male counterparts are very quick to pat each other on the back and say, well done, bro, man, you did this, you killed this. But we are so shy because we will be labeled as, oh, we are being, what do you call this? We are being so we are so proud, or you're showing off, or this one you cannot even settle down. You're all over the place with your social media. Post it. Show your achievements, show your words. Let people know that you're competent. Let people know that you're capable, and let people know that you've achieved. Otherwise, if we hide these things, you always second guess yourself, and everybody will be doubting your capabilities, including your future roles, because they'll be saying like, okay, we don't see this person, we don't see what they're doing. So it's our responsibility to celebrate ourselves and celebrate each other and pat each other on the back and show off our achievements. That will really go a long way to boost our confidence and just really reduce this imposter syndrome. It will always be there, but we can always overcome it with these strategies. And you'll find that as your experience grows, as you move along the corporate ladder, the imposter syndrome will get less and less, particularly if you're very self-aware and very confident about yourself.
Thank you very much for that response. I think there's still another question. Naomba if Maureen, you can give the question, and then our panelists can take it.
All right. Sorry about that. We have from the attendees, we have one person who's raised her hand, Perpetual Mwangi, possibly. I don't know if you're able to unmute and ask your question or chat on the chat box. I'll be able to take down your question. And all right, as we wait for her to chat, we have one additional question on regards to future trends. What skills do you think will be essential for future leaders in tech? So, Joyce, over to you.
Thank you for that question, Maureen. I would say that some of the, as the world is changing and we are having all this new technology coming into place, and we are learning, we have AI now, and we have the different things that people are learning. But there are, I wouldn't say new things or new skills. I would just say that they would become more necessary or more key in the future. Skills like communication skills, skills like emotional intelligence, being able to articulate yourself and articulate a problem. For example, if in the case of dealing with machine learning and AI and trying to work with AI to find solutions to everyday problems, workplace problems, being able to articulate that problem and being able to translate that and be able to work with the machines and with the AI effectively to find solutions and to resolve the issues will be one of the key things that I foresee. When you're talking about emotional intelligence, we will have people who, the debate about whether AI is coming for our jobs, whether we will be out of jobs, the only people that will survive in the next frontier, and the next frontier is here anyway, is the people who are able to use AI and understand AI and understand these technologies. If you're able to upskill yourself and consistently grow yourself in these areas, and you're able to build your emotional intelligence skills, you're able to use to build your communication skills, you're able to build your collaboration skills, where you're able to pull together skills from diverse backgrounds and diverse setups, then you will be able to succeed where the times are moving forward to. Thank you, Maureen.
Thank you very much for that. There are two more questions that I'm going to combine that any of the panelists can take. The first one is, how can we foster a culture of mentorship and support for women in tech? And related to that is the second question, which is, what advice would you give to women who are looking for mentors and sponsors? Would you like to take any part of this question?
Let me just take up the first one and I'll comment on the second one. When it comes to, let me start from the mentorship. When it comes to what I've seen work, especially for anyone who has just graduated and either is just looking for a stepping stone, I would say first is attending such sessions, because then you get to discover what is going on in the industry with the industry leaders and also understanding their journey. The biggest challenge I think people don't get to know is how did this person get there? And they assume, well, the fact now I've met Christine, tomorrow I should apply for a role and Christine should give me. You don't know the journey she has taken. So first, can you analyze and see who you want to be in terms of one, who's your role model? Are you ready to put in the work that is expected? In terms of mentorship programs, I love the fact that Joyce also mentioned that she is a mentor in the MasterCard program. There are quite a number which are paid or not paid, but are accessible for someone to develop their skills. Specifically looking for a mentor is where I want to focus on. Please reach out with the right purpose. Don't reach out to someone who you want them to be your mentor, but you don't have the time, or you feel that this person is very successful and therefore this person should avail themselves anytime. It is by being very strategic and attending very specific events that will lead you to it. I know there are quite a number of platforms for women who are in tech, and I must say that is where you start. And then from there, try and diverse and see other spaces where executives are in terms of the level you're in. So if you are in your first entry level, look for somebody who's already at a supervisory level, because you may go for the board person and they may not really be able to 100% give you what you want because of the level you're in terms of application of what you're looking for. So gradually gravitate as you grow the different types of mentors that you get. One easy place that you can scout and see, because you don't actually need to get a mentor only in Kenya, you can get across the world, wherever they are, because now there's technology, is just use LinkedIn, access what is readily available. You can see their profiles. Of course, you should be able to differentiate who is lying in these profiles, because 100% people say they've done a lot of things, but yet they have not done. Once you narrow down to who is ideal, reach out to them, and you will get enough no's, but there'll definitely be somebody who will be able to say yes. Or at the end of the day, talk to someone like Maureen. She'll be able to link you up with the right experts who are in the house. Yes, over to you, Joyce.
Thank you very much. Marcus, did you want to take the second part of the question?
I however didn't hear it clearly. If you can just
the question was, what advice would you give to women who are looking for mentors or sponsors? And I think it has just been partly answered, but you can still pick the question.
Okay, without probably repeating, it's something I had still said, just understand your area, and of course, be bold enough to seek people who can support you within your specific area. And also sometimes it might not just necessarily be someone in your area. If you're confused, just ask. Don't feel that there's anything wrong with asking for support. Maybe that person will actually connect you to the right person that you need to connect. Key thing is for you to believe in yourself and believe in your capability, because there's something you can offer. You just need to do it and do it well. And there's always someone who can support you. Of course, from an organization perspective, there are things that organizations can do. If I pick for us is we have set up an umbrella that supports, if we call it women in fintech and men in fintech. The reason we actually separated the two was purely to also allow us to separate our dynamics, both as men and as women, and be able to support each other in different in different levels, whether it's from a career perspective or mental wellness, whether it's financially. There are different things that are unique to all of us as different genders. And so we wanted to make sure that the teams run the programs and they support each other through the career process in their life as one. So thank you.
Thank you for that. The next question, I think we'll continue with our question because now we're almost out of time. So if you have any more additional questions, I would highly advise that you type them out on the chat and then you can take them later on towards the end. So I'll just proceed with the next question, which I'll ask to Joyce. How can women prepare for leadership roles in areas like AI, blockchain, or cybersecurity, where representation is particularly low?
Thank you for that question, Joyce. I think as in any sector, whether it is a sector that is, or roles that are traditionally male or female, for you to be able to be successful, you have to embrace a mindset of excellence. You have to have that mindset of excellence and wanting to excel in everything that you do. That is what sets one apart, whether you are in, AI or blockchain, cybersecurity, HR, procurement, whichever area you are in. Next, I would say, is to seek out the non-traditional or roles that you would not traditionally go for. So I would say challenge the status quo. Apply for roles within the tech space or the environment that you may not traditionally go for. You may go for lesser, or no, I don't want to call them lesser, but different things. Go for the thing that challenges you, because that is where you get an opportunity to shine and bring forth what it is that what it is that makes you excel. I'd also say learn and grow yourself, upskill, whichever area that you're in, whether you're in AI or cybersecurity, but especially now that we're talking about these areas, find out and get to have a thirst for information and a thirst for knowledge that will put you at the edge of your field, that will put you ahead in your field, that will set you apart, such that you become a subject matter expert. You become someone who people can go to when they are looking for solutions in these areas, so that you have substance to bring. You're continually developing yourself. When it comes to a space like this, AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, that is consistently changing, there are so many things that are changing within those industries. So it is important for someone to consistently grow, to consistently learn, to consistently go back to school, as some of my colleagues have said. Go back to school. What is there? What is happening in the industry? How can you improve your skills? What is the latest trend within AI, within blockchain, within cybersecurity? What are the new applications of this role? What is the next frontier? Be always ahead, and that way you're able to be a thought leader within that space. You're able to be successful within that space. Thank you, Joyce.
Thank you for that. We've come to the point where we are going to, we have to close this up. So probably just some closing thoughts, and I'll direct this question to Josephine. What is one key piece of advice you would offer to the next generation of women leaders in tech?
Okay, thank you, Joyce. I think a lot of advice has been given through the discussions. And I think the one more thing I would say is, since we are talking about the next generation, I would tell them, don't wait for opportunities, but seek to create them. Have that initiative to see what can I do, or even map your own, growth in whichever, but I don't want to say career growth, but basically have a plan for your life entirely, because we cannot put our lives in silos and say, oh, this part is work life, this is home life. but just take it all and say, what are my priorities? What do I want to achieve? What do I want to have? And plan it that way. If it involves the workplace, look at the opportunities within the organization you're in. And just as I think Joyce has said, challenge yourself. Tell yourself, this is what I want, and be proactive about it. Go to your manager and say, can I have this growth plan? Or this is the growth plan that I envision for myself. And I think even as leaders, when you have such people working with you, I think we want to grow such people. Any leader would want to grow such a person. So I think that would be my piece of advice.
Thank you very much, Josephine. Blanche, I can see your hand is up, and actually the final question was coming over to you. So Blanche, how do you see your role in shaping the future of leadership and technology?
Okay, I will first start by giving a piece of advice, and then I'll say how my role is shaping the future of technology. For me, my advice would be to be your authentic self, your true authentic self. You don't need to be anything else in work apart from being a professional. So sometimes we are told certain like HR people are not supposed to behave like this. IT people are supposed to behave a certain way. Don't listen to those voices. The only thing you need to be at work or in any organization is a professional. So look at yourself as a professional, not people are supposed to behave like this. Be yourself always, and that is the only way you're going to be confident. You're going to believe in yourself very easily because I'm just myself, but at work, I'm a professional. My role in shaping the future of leadership in technology basically is to have programs which are geared to building women. So basically, I see myself having like groups, like intentional groups, like for example, where women meet and talk about different things that they are going through, like what you've discussed and said, like for mothers, for single women who are also leading, because I can share an experience where sometimes you are negotiating salary for someone, and someone in the same boardroom says, but they don't have a family. Why are they asking for this amount of salary? So my role really is to be bold in that meeting and say, look, this is a position. These are the parameters specific to this position, and this is the salary pegged to this position. So we should be, it is our responsibility, because if it is a man, they will not ask whether he has a salary or not. Also, to encourage women to believe in themselves, because sometimes we see these internal positions coming up and we self-doubt. And most of the time, men apply for positions that they're not qualified for and they get it. But most of the time, you are the person with all the qualifications, but you have listened so much to external factors, you are doubting yourself. So just believe in yourself and take that step. And when I said, when you present yourself as a professional, already there are boundaries. So you are looking at me as a professional, and as this is my title. You're not like I'm removing the female and male title. Another one, for the sponsors and mentors, I will be sure to make sure that they know exactly what they need from this, from the mentorship programs. Like, you can't just jump into a program and you don't know what you want. Like, where do you want to be in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year? So I will have programs that are specific to every individual, and I will encourage them to speak up and share so that I can have programs specific to be able to help them. And my last remarks is to accept sometimes that there are challenges. You accept that there are challenges, and you accept help. You accept help. So again, where do I come in is to find ways to help women. And it's not only in their professional lives. For example, last week I had a whole program about gender violence, stress management and things like that, for just to open the doors for you to tap into those programs, even sometimes not going through us as organizations, but giving you those contacts, partnering with organizations so that we can be able to help our staff. So I feel like it's our responsibility to partner with organizations, for our employees to have like open channels. They don't always have to like tell us what they are going through as women, and being transparent, and we're working together. Sometimes you're not free to like open and share. So partner and have them have those channels individually, to be able to help themselves without coming to you. I think that is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Blanche, and thank you so much, ladies, all the panelists, and everybody who makes time to participate in this webinar. I would like to thank the panelists, especially for sharing with us those very inspiring stories, their experiences, and putting forward their insights, and also helping us learn and experience within their journey. At this point, I would like to hand over to Maureen just to close up the session. And once again, thank you to everyone who's participated in this session.
Great. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you, Josephine. My name is Maureen Wangare. I'm manager of Regenesys Corporate Education. So I'm really delighted that you stayed on this call, and we do hope that you found this session very insightful. As mentioned, this is Regenesys. We have lots of good things happening, and just to share, in the interest of time, I can see it's 5:03, and we like to keep time as Regenesys. And again, we do apologize for the start of the technical issues, but we have lots of things as Regenesys that are going on, and especially in light with the women in leadership and technology, we like to partner in different ways, and I'm really thrilled to provide you an update about the exciting events that we're undertaking as Regenesys. So we have schools and church visits as Regenesys, where we look at empowering youth and demystifying ICT careers. So at Regenesys Kenya, we firmly believe in the power of education and importance of guiding the younger generation towards fulfilling careers. And we felt having such a platform will be able to, answer some of these initiatives that we're looking at. So we recently embarked on ambitious outreach initiatives focused on empowering youth by demystifying careers and information and communication technology. We've done over 122 schools where we have successfully conducted career guidance, motivational sessions, notably where we have standout sessions at St. Teresa's Girls, Treeside School for the Deaf, Mwangaza School, Hospital Hill, Nairobi School, among so many others. So our critical part in these schools is providing career guidance sessions that help students not only to understand the wide array of career available to ICT, but also settle on courses where they can most likely thrive. So we aim to ensure that each student walks away with knowledge and confidence that makes informed decisions about future academic and career paths. Additionally, we've expanded our reach by partnering with religious and educational associations. So to date, we have visited nearly over 200 churches, collaborating with church leaders, engaging with youth congregants, and these visits are part of a broader strategy in the digital sector. The response has been overwhelmingly positive, and we look forward to continuing these initiatives. So other than that, we also have an upcoming Women in Agripreneurship Conference next year, March. I'm particularly excited to announce that one of our major upcoming events, that is the Women in Agripreneurship Conference, scheduled next year, March 2025. This is going to be a 3-day conference. Will be held in partnership with Mama Doing Good, which is under the office of the First Lady. That will bring us together women from various sectors of agripreneurship, including stakeholders, leaders, innovators, and farmers at large. This event will serve as a platform to address most of the key barriers where women face in agricultural sector and promote sustainable, innovative agripreneurship practices. We aim to We aim to empower women by providing them the tools, resources, networks necessary for them to thrive in agripreneurship and agribusiness as well. It is also an incredible opportunity for stakeholders in the agricultural sector and ecosystem to come together and collaborate on sustainable solutions. We anticipate a dynamic exchange of ideas, and we look forward to creating a longer impact on women in agripreneurship. Over and above that, we have, as I mentioned, we have lots of things going on as Regenesys, just as a way to sensitize the community and work with different stakeholders. So we've also gone ahead to create a digital Regenesys community meet and greet this coming October. So our focus on digital education and community building continues to grow. We will be having our very first digital Regenesys meet and greet this October. These events will take place here at the GTC office tower. Will be exciting opportunity and networking opportunity for both alumni and current students. Well, we do have over 5,000 plus students across board, so this gives a very good opportunity for that. We expect this gathering will be a vibrant space for our digital community to connect, share insights, and collaborate on future opportunities. It is an opportunity to build lasting relationships, learn from each other as well. We explore many career paths available for digital space. We already have an immersive lineup of attendees and from diverse industries as well. So last but not least, we also have emerging technologies and upskilling opportunities. So since we've just had a great conversation on emerging technologies, it is a perfect time to mention that Digital Regenesys, one of Regenesys branches, offer a wide range of tech courses, which are in line with today's topic as well, designed to help you stay competitive in the ever-evolving digital space. Whether you're interested in cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, just as one of our speakers mentioned, Joyce, and data science, project management, digital, machine learning, and other fields, we got you covered. So if you're looking to upskill and stay ahead of the career, please do not hesitate to reach out, and we'll be more than happy to guide you towards the right course that matches your professional aspiration. So as we wrap it up, we'd like to just give a vote of thanks to our panelists, our lovely panelists today. Thank you so much for your invaluable insights and inspiring stories shared during today's webinar, and your contribution has undoubtedly empowered our audience. Thank you very, very much. And to our participants, thank you so much for your active participation, the questions throughout the webinar. Your insights and engagements made the event even a better success. We appreciate your time and your contribution. Thank you very much. Over to you, Joyce.
All right, thank you very much. You've done a good job closing it up. So once again, thank you to the panelists and thank you to our online participants. So we can now officially bring this to a close, and we're happy and hope that this is a beginning of a new engagement. This is a good opportunity to start talking mentorship and getting our allies, and I can see where we're going to tap first. But once again, thank you everyone, and have yourselves a wonderful evening.